Good day, beautiful people. Today we will be talking about hoodoo and indigo. First, I'm going to just cover the basics of indigo, and then I'm going to go into indigo and the Gullah Geechee culture, and then we're going to go into indigo and hoodoo. Indigo is believed to have originally come from India, hence the name indigo. However, indigo has been grown very much so in the southern region of the United States. Indigo was a major cash crop that was pioneered by Eliza Pinckney in South Carolina in 1744. The cultivation of indigo was very labor intensive, which required a slave labor. The process of producing indigo dye included multiple steps such as harvesting, fermenting, extracting the dye from the plants. Again, indigo was a major cash crop and it made the South, especially South Carolina, very wealthy. By 1775, over 1 million pounds of indigo was shipped to England annually. I want to acknowledge Evita Ellis, of whom I got a lot of this information from. Indigo is a natural pigment derived from plants, and it is positioned between blue and violet on the color wheel. It is recognized as one of the 7 major spectral colors. The color is associated with devotion, wisdom, justice, and higher knowledge. There was a decline in indigo production around the time of the Revolutionary War. It had a huge impact on the indigo. Also, the competition from cotton and the introduction of synthetic dyes. In Gullah Geechee culture, of which I am from, indigo is a color that we see very often, even up until today. However, when I was a child, I saw even more of it, and my parents saw even more of it than I did. They have a color called haint blue, which is pretty much the color indigo. Now, indigo and haint blue is thought to trap the spirits of malevolent entities. In Gullah Geechee culture, haint and hag are kind of used interchangeably, although they are technically different. A hag is more so a female entity of malevolent nature that comes and causes sleep paralysis at night. Therefore, you have the haint blue that the window shutters and the bottles are put around the home to ward off those spirits. You can often see, even up until today, 2025, they are still in my front yard. My neighbor has them on his tree. So the culture and the idea, the significance never left. It is still very much ingrained in Gullah Geechee culture. Also, haint blue is often painted on the shutters of the homes. If you listen to my other video about hoodoo, I mentioned to you how my father always painted his shutters blue, and that is to keep out evil spirits. There is a great reference to indigo in the movie Daughters of the Dust. If you haven't seen it, it's a pretty good watch in reference to the Gullah Geechee culture. Also, there was a famous singer at the Met Gala in 2022 that gave the Gullah Geechee people a wonderful shout out. So the theme of the 2022 Met Gala was Gilded Ages between the late 1800s and early 1900s. And Miss Rada Blank wore the most amazing attire. Not only was the wardrobe itself beautiful in the head wrap, but you could see her indigo stained fingertips, which was a wonderful and beautiful but silent nod to the Gullah Geechee people and the blue gold cash crop of indigo. So now I'm going to get into some of the hoodoo practices surrounding the color indigo. I already mentioned the blue bottles, which captures haints or haint blue bottles that we put on bare trees. Now, there's also something in reference to water. Indigo water is a key component to hoodoo practices, serving as a spiritual cleanser. It is made with indigo dye or bluing and other ingredients like Florida water, camphor, or eggshell powder. This mixture is believed to repel negativity, cleanse spaces, and strengthen the aura. Spiritual protection. Indigo water is used to ward off negative energies, evil spirits, and the evil eye. It is believed to strengthen the user's aura and protect against harmful influences. Cleansing and purification. It can be used to cleanse spaces, objects, and even the body, removing stagnant or negative energy. This can be done by adding it to floor washes, baths, or sprinkling it around any space. It also enhances spells. Indigo water is believed to amplify the power of spells and rituals. It is used to strengthen intentions and focus magical workings. Some other uses of indigo when it comes to indigo water is to bring peace, serenity, and blessings into the homes, and it can be used in conjunction with other spiritual practices. Other uses of indigo in hoodoo practices and other magical uses have been to dry the flowers, and they can be put into grist bags and carried or placed around the home to remove negativity. Some people plant indigo near the door of their home to stop unwanted energy from entering. A small sprig placed into your pocket will help the psychic knowledge and intuition as well. I hope that you all have enjoyed this video about hoodoo and the indigo plant, the color indigo. If you have anything to add, please do so. As I said before, indigo was a color that I saw very, very often, from the shutters on the doors of the homes where I live to the painted blue colored glass placed on the trees, which still exists today. I want to thank you all for watching and listening, and you be blessed.